Hi, Rivers here. I want to tell you a story about my dad that happened um, back, I think it was in December of 1978. Now, just to bring you up to speed, in September of 1978, I met and started dating the most amazing woman. I was over the top in love with one Jean Hool. I had this theory as I was growing up that I would know quickly who I should marry. And I knew, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was going to be Queenie. And we had a really lovely courtship. Well, things started kind of speeding up, and it became painfully obvious to yours truly, even though I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, that I needed to save up some money and I needed to buy myself a diamond and then have that diamond set in an engagement ring because things were moving really quickly. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I was and how I was so looking forward to proposing, and hopefully Queenie would accept my proposal. I never wanted to say, "Will you marry me?" more than one time in my life. And up until December of 1978, I hadn't gone to that extremity, but I knew that I wanted to marry Queenie. I loved her. I wanted to spend every waking moment with her. So there was a snowstorm, and my little Volkswagen Bug, I think it was like a 1969 or 68 bronze Volkswagen Bug with a sunroof. It was having some difficulties, and I was somehow I was just barely able to limp in to a service station on Highland Drive because my car wouldn't go any further. I was absolutely discombobulated because I had no idea what was wrong with the car. And I had a goal. I had money I needed to earn, money I had saved, and I wanted to buy a ring, and I wanted to ask for my cute little bride-to-be's hand. So I went to the gas station. It was a gas station that we had used before. And the verdict came back, and there was a pretty significant repair bill. I seem to remember it was something like $400 or $500, which that's a lot of money. That was nearly 40 years ago. I was distraught. How am I gonna buy this engagement ring? Well, I had to give my dad a call from the service station and have him come pick me up. And I needed to have him take me to school. And I was pretty emotional because I thought, how am I going to do all of this? And my dad came, and my dad knows stuff about cars, and he talked to the mechanics, and these mechanics were people that he trusted. And so he knew that we weren't being taken. And he found out what the problem was, and he knew that it was going to be a costly fix. And he came to me and he said, "Well, looks like you're going to need to make this, pay for this engine trouble." And everything kind of hit me. I guess what goes up comes down, and the joy and excitement of courting my wonderful, now eternal mate, and thinking I had everything kind of lined up in a row to get engaged and eventually get married, and I just lost it. I just started to cry, and the tears just came gushing out, and I never really cried that much in front of my dad, but I was just devastated by this. And my dad handled it really, really well. He didn't say, come on, man, get a grip. He just knew how much I was working hard and what my plans were. And he basically said to me, Steve, I know that you've got these future plans to get married and buy this ring. I just want you to know that I'll pick up the tab for this repair. Oh, man. I think he was moved by my tears. And like I said, I didn't cry much in front of my father. And my dad he was not what I would call emotional. He got more emotional as time got on, but he was moved and he was kind, and he offered to help me so that I could move forward, and he knew what I was trying to do. And my dad was just a kind person, and he was generous. And he'd been through some tough stuff as a kid. And he and my mom had some financial times that were pretty tight. And I just was so overwhelmed by his kind offer and things went like clockwork. I was able to get the ring and be able to propose to her in January of 1979. But I just want you to think about times where you might be able to come to the rescue of a loved one. I have been the recipient of some of these times. And again, I just want you to know how much my mom and dad meant to me. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.